So I was very encouraged after the meeting with Macron. I think it was well timed. It showed leadership. It showed openness of understanding. And it showed that there is a relationship that could be worked upon and built on. I take it positively. And I would expect the same to happen with the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom today, in expectation of what will be discussed with President Zelensky tomorrow. When both, leaving aside, let's say, perhaps some of the statements that have been made in the past few days that are, let's say, ad hoc, I think there is a general understanding that the war needs to come to an end, that peace must be sought. And I spent a lot of time in my speech talking about peace because what we need to avoid at all costs is a repeat of what happened in 2008 and in 2014, where you have a protracted frozen war that could be reignited at any moment, and that there is vulnerability there. The meaning of security guarantees was also mentioned and responded to by the President of France and also by the Prime Minister of the UK in terms of what would presence on the ground be within the NATO framework and outside it. If you see the role that has been played by Poland, by Romania, so countries that share a border with Ukraine, you can see readiness. Is there full preparedness? Is there now discussion in each country as to whether we're not only talking about defense spending but people on the ground? Readiness to have obligatory re-enlisting. This is happening in a number of countries. This is quite personal to me. I'm married to a Finn, and that is a country that has taken its neighbor very seriously for many years, ever since 10% of its territory was lost in a very similar manner. And I think the question that we need to ask all of us, and it is perhaps easier to answer it because of proximity, in other words, we are close geographically to where this is happening, and that when you talk about a security guarantee within the NATO framework, it can mean different things for different countries, but it also means that we do not delude ourselves that there are imperialistic ideas in Europe, on the continent, and that is a dangerous thing to conceive when it comes to territorial integrity. And that, I think, should be explained better, and every country and every leader would tell you the same, that if there's one responsibility you have is over your territory, and you need to protect it. And your neighbors understand that if you don't protect it or they help you protect it, then they could be next. And that, I think, has not emerged clearly enough. And what I would hope to see in the next 2 days, whatever the shape of any agreement is, but also for us not to live under the question of whether it's going to happen again. A few years ago, we didn't think it would happen, but it did. The countries in the neighborhood told us it would, but we didn't listen to them. I remember for years, my Baltic, Polish colleagues, late at night in meetings saying, beware, this is going to happen. Silence from everyone else. No one believed it. And then it happened. And that also meant that, of course, we've stepped up in our spending, our preparedness, but we need to do much more. And I'm hoping that the involvement that was referred to by President Trump means exactly that.
I should mention that President Metsola and her Finnish husband were the first couple to run for European Parliament.
We both failed,
in different states, and you both didn't make it.
Yeah.
But that's a long time. You ended up okay, I think.
So I ran twice before I got elected. And on the second election, we did the craziest thing of running for the European Parliament in 2 different countries, and both narrowly defeated, and then made an agreement that whoever goes into politics, the other one will quit, and the rest is history.
The rest is history. Next question, please. Let's take a couple up front, and then we'll take a few in the back.